All right, folks, welcome back to the Alienware Analyst. That's a great video, by the way. I mean, kudos to the community for such an awesome creation.
Beautiful.
But we are joined by two very, very special guests. Ladies and gentlemen, in the crowd, give it up for these gentlemen. They're going to go to the finals. You got Ataraxia and Pretty Prime. What's up, fellas? How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah, feeling...
Hasn't quite sunk in yet, you know. It's,
The first thing to do is just go ahead, just attach the face to the players, introduce yourself, what role you play, and how you feel about the event.
Okay, my name's Nate. In game, I go by Ataraxia, and I'm the hunter.
My name is Emil. I go by the name of Pretty Prime, and I'm the mid laner for Titan.
All right, well, cool stuff, guys. I mean, again, congratulations to you and your team. Everyone performed so well there. But I have to ask you, though, about your opponent. Obviously, SK is a great team, but what were your thoughts about SK, you know, since it's all said and done at this point?
Oh, hi. Is that a patch?
Okay.
Oh, look
no. No! No! The feels.
Oh, man.
The feels. Okay.
In all seriousness, SK played a fantastic game.
Man, that's out of character for you, especially there, right? For both of you guys. No, I mean, without a doubt, SK played great. But my question, and I know, Driver, you have a million questions for these young men.
I love these guys.
But my question is about the Kali pick from SK. It was like, the first pick made sense, but what happened? Why do you guys think they went for that second pick there? And how did you guys feel when you saw it on the screen?
The second time it felt a bit forced, like we've been screaming all week and we've been banding it every game, both of us. So I think they overestimated it, just in general. We haven't played it in a long time. Thought it was going to be so OP that it was going to auto-win or something.
Now, one thing I want to bring up as well, for those of you out in the audience and around the world watching today, you guys, of course, you know, as North America has done in the past, COG scrims COG, you guys would exclusively scrim SK Gaming in the preparation for the week. We brought the players out very early this week to be able to practice and prepare for this event, you know, and the record against them has just been so in their favor, right? As the crowd expected, right? Everyone was favoring SK Gaming coming into this. Do you guys have a rough number of what the total record was for the scrims?
We won about 2 or 3, and we lost
2.
Over 15.
So it was like 15, 16 to 3 total for all their scrims, right? And, you know, going into this, you guys didn't drop a single game in the best of 3 up on stage. Can you tell us, you know, for you, Ataraxia, first, you know, what went through your head in that first match? Were you nervous?
Yeah, nervous because obviously through the week, SK have been doing very, very well against us. But I've made sure to tell the team that whenever it counted, we've beaten SK. We beat them in the wildcards to qualify for the regionals, and then we obviously beat them at the regional championships, and we've done it again. We beat them at the world championships. So
wow. So going into this matchup, you know, we knew that it was going to happen, or at least you guys had to get through OMG, and I think that's going to be another question that I have for you as well about OMG, right? Because a great team, you know, Asian squad, you know, coming out strong, Chinese team, but how did you, like, what occurred there? Because it seemed like you guys were, you know, like unsure of yourselves in that matchup, but then just coming on top in this SK game was like, whoa, what's going on? New team practically. Pretty Prime?
It takes a while for us to get going, like in Germany, like C9 games we're not really shining, I gotta say. Then after a couple of games, some bad games, some decent games, we step it up, I guess.
Yeah.
When it's really important, when it's on the line. You know?
Well, it's getting more and more important as every minute passes here at the Smite World Championship at the Cobb Energy Center. You know, we're going into the second semifinal, and, you know, what do you guys do to watch? I mean, what do you learn from as you watch the semifinal of the COG boys?
The pick and ban will be the most important thing. I think there's been a, like for example, Kali is very highly rated in the EU, but not so much in NA. So I think we're going to look to see what they really prioritize and hopefully use that to our advantage.
All right, real quick, you're going to watch COG Prime versus COG Red. Do you have any words or predictions after the semifinal for your possible opponents going into the grand finals?
I would like COG Prime to win, not because I favor COG Prime over COG Red, but because I want to box Barracuda. We didn't really get to in our first game, so I want to best of 5 against Barracuda. I love that guy.
Okay.
And I just want to play.
So it's a respect thing for you. You respect them and you want to see them go Prime for you?
I'd rather face COG Prime because they actually beat us, and it would be like a movie story, you know? We came back, we defeated them, we went home with the fame and glory.
Okay. Yeah, nice. I
Yeah.
like that. I like
Good.
that. Well, I mean, obviously, guys, best of luck. Congratulations yet again. Guys in the crowd, give it up for the folks over in Titan one more time. Congratulations. Now, it is time for our last matchup of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Cog Prime versus Cog Red. We're going to go ahead, toss it over to the stage for Kelly. Let's get this one going. Kelly?
Guys, it's the last set of the day. Are you ready? The two teams that we're going to be seeing first up, the old guard of Smite and the champions from North America. It is Cognitive Prime.
Cognitive Prime. No Megatron. Anderson. MLC Stealth. Jen, the Sex Hitler. Barracuda.
And that was your team, Cognitive Prime. And finally, the team that decimated the North American kickoff land, the North American SPL, and the North American regionals. Guys, it is Cognitive Red.
Cognitive Red. Devios. The Guards. The Rouge. Ionic. Snoopy.
As per the usual, you are joined once again by myself. Yeah, Dry Bear, not Bart. Not Bart.
Still not Bart.
We also have Simstar and Allied. Guys, welcome back. You guys transformed into players who are going to the finals to now just analysts. Welcome again. No, but seriously, though, great matchup coming up here, folks. Cog Prime, Cog Red. I know the crowd's going to be going absolutely berserk for every single play here, but our job, breaking down those picks and bans.
Yeah.
What should we expect out of the gate here, besides the Circuit ban? Maybe the Alquan ban as well, Driver?
I don't know. I mean, both these teams are capable of almost anything with almost any pick. I mean, this is the team kill. You have sister teams going up ahead. There's the Vulcan ban away, just making sure that he doesn't play it. Ao Guang in response. Sylvanas has been, oh my. Here's the thing. These guys scrim each other constantly. They know each other so well. This ban process is flying by. There's the Divios Osiris, the Snoopy Vulcan, the Ao Guang across the way for Endenster, but Circuit is still available.
Circuit is up for grabs. Allied.
Now you know what this means is that Cognitive Red, I believe they're trying to bait this pick. And they wanted Thor versus Circuit, so Cognitive Prime rather
Smart.
first pick Thor and give Cognitive Red Circuit. You gotta remember, Circuit's auto banned. No one really has that much experience against her or with her. So they're just trying to throw it up there for grabs. Like I said, to reiterate from way before, previous in the cast, they play each other nonstop. So this is like plan F of picks and bans. They've tried everything against each other.
Yeah, that Thor gets picked up obviously in counter to Dagars and what he brings to the table. And there's Hercules and Athena. Those two are going to get locked in as well.
Yeah, I mean, you got your support there, possibly. We've got Hercules. And, this looks like possibly a Divios Hercules. Zimstar, what do you think Cog Prime's going to go for?
I mean, Cog Red knows that he can get Circuit later on, because Prime already has Thor, so where will you put Circuit if they actually picked it? So that's why I think they didn't pick Circuit. I expect Circuit coming out of red. But I mean, this is really Allies domain. This is like an NA against NA Titan matchup. Can you,
So
what do you
Hercules
think?
is valued very highly with these two teams. Both solo lane players value Hercules extremely high, just because they're both like tanky stuff. Devios known for his tier, Omega known for his Vimana. like just outright.
I think Red's gonna pick up Circuit here because they don't want it to be banned when Prime has the banning
They
phase.
might not even pick it up. You gotta remember.
People in the chat are saying Circuit may not get picked
yeah,
or banned.
Circuit may not get picked or
What
banned.
would you get instead then if you were Red at this point? I mean,
Well, I mean, he likes Hoon bots. He likes a lot of other
Yeah.
choices here. That would
That's
right
true.
away Thor, especially with the counter initiation would be strong here. And you can see they're struggling with it. They're hovering on Poseidon. Now they may also be banned. Here's the thing, right? If they don't have a high propensity to pick up Circuit, they're willing to go to the second ban phase and say, hey, if you ban it, we won't take it. If you don't, we're wasting your ban, right? So again,
That's
it's a
true.
secondary
That's true.
ban
Yeah,
base.
yeah.
Just
that's
start
true.
thinking advanced.
This is crazy.
Like mind games, like
Yeah.
mind gameception.
So what happens? Does does Prime go for the ban?
They're thinking about it. They're waiting for it.
They're
Now,
wondering.
obviously, they don't know at this point. Now, they haven't picked in the first three, so they don't know, do they want Circuit? If we ban Circuit, is it a waste? And their mind is just running right now. So this is just very high-level meta tactics.
I think
in
they're going to
picks
let
and
it go.
bans.
No,
Oh, they took the bait.
they took the bait. Okay,
If it was bait,
that's true because we don't.
there's Circuit.
there it is.
Thank
Smart.
God.
So smart.
So
They're forced
Circuit
to make
does
a
get
decision.
chosen. This is
Is
going to
this
be
the first time Circuit is played in this
Second
tournament?
time.
The second time. Oh,
Second time
that's
we
right.
saw OMG use it.
Absolutely, yeah.
In their
You're
matchup,
correct,
but
you're
still,
correct.
this is big because this is like extremely high level play.
You gotta understand here. I mean, Circuit Ultimate.
Oh, it's the MLC Scylla. Do we
it locked
see
in?
AMC? Do we see Apollo?
Scylla's
There it
locked.
is.
Last
Nice.
pick here for Cog Prime. They're just toying with the
Oh,
crowd
this
at
is
point.
hype.
So Circuit Ultimate into Kraken
The baby.
All right.
is a
Vamana gets
huge
picked.
combination. I mean, if you just blow someone up with that poison, it spreads to the Vamana, and that means the Vamana doesn't heal in his ultimate.
And that's going to be Rama for the final
Okay.
pick here, folks. It's going to be a great matchup. Make some noise as we jump right into this one. Toss it over to the casters. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the commentary desk for the final best of three today. My name is hi-rez Bart, joined by the one and only DM Brandon. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a doozy on our hands. Cog Red versus Cog Prime. Brandon, what'd you see in the draft?
So what I love here is that Red decides, or I didn't love, I was having a heart attack.
Yes, you were very upset.
They didn't go into Circuit in the first three picks after the Thor pick. They knew they weren't going to go Thor support, so they allowed the jungler to go through. They baited the Nemesis ban because they knew it wasn't going to go through. They waited for Circuit to get picked in the second phase to waste the last ban, allowing them to get Ram in the end phase.
That being said, looking at Cognitive Gaming, they have banned the Nemesis and banned the Osiris, both very strong counters to the Vamana. Vamana going to be relatively unchecked in this game. The best bet for them is probably the Poseidon AoE cripple to stop his dash, but
Circuit ult can also stop the
yeah,
healing.
and they can put down the healing. They have the healing reduction, right, which is obviously very good for them, and they have their own HP 5 oriented tank in Hercules. They should be able to outlast in the fights, but you got to worry if this game goes about 35 minutes and Omega has 5 items that you're going to be running into a late game Scylla, late game on her, late game Vamana with Geb backup. I mean, this is nasty stuff out of Prime.
So two things we should note, both teams have a really significant amount of healing coming out from their solo laners. Expect that we're going to see healing reduction. And second, Boosh fared very poorly yesterday with this character. We're going to see if they can switch it up, guys. Last shot for the finals. Team kill time, Cog versus Cog.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1. It's Cognitive Gaming versus Cognitive Red in a best of 3 matchup to decide who proceeds to the finals. Let's go ahead and introduce your teams. They are the blue team fighting out of the bottom side of the minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. They are the number 2 seed out of North America, and they are Cognitive Gaming. It's Amnenster in the jungle as Thor. Barracuda matching up with Jeff Hinla in the duo lane as Onher and Geb. Omegatron in the solo lane as Vamana, and MLC Stealth in the mid lane as Scylla.
That's going to bring us to their opponents today, which are, of course, the number 1 seed coming out of North America and favorites to win the Smite World Championships, Cognitive Red. We're going to see Ionic go into the duo lane with Captain Snoopy as Athena, and Rama Bush go into the mid lane with Poseidon. Devios bringing Hercules to the solo lane, and somehow Dagars on Circuit.
Gars used to, I mean, this is what we talk about anytime we see Gars not playing the Thors, the Hunbots, is Gars is a very good team fight controlling style of jungler, likes to bring big AoE CC to the table. Circuit, not that. But we do have a little bit of a jump party in the mid lane, and God bless them, everyone.
It looks like we're going to have a meta start here, guys. Everyone seems to be rotating through.
Yeah, they're going to be right side mid camps picked up on the side of gaming. Left side going to Cog Red. And, well, they're going to run into each other on the right side here. Andy's going to take a few in-hands for his trouble. Oh, he has Berserker Barrage Shield. They just realized they don't have Mueller's Attunement. That's our first one for guards, ladies and gentlemen. Before the timers start, Omega in some trouble as well. DM, they may be able to chase this down. Guards is here. He has the mobility. Omega is going to fall here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be 2 kills to start the game for Red.
Maybe.
Secure it.
Maybe.
The slow is there.
Maybe.
The healing coming up for the baby.
Maybe.
Is going to do it. They can't dive the tower. Omega is going to be A-okay.
Well, I don't know about A-okay. He's going to lose this blue buff thanks to a perfect rotation coming out from Booster, the mid lane. First blood also went to Cirquet, guys. I hope this isn't the start of Landon, sir.
Oh, Omega almost dies there as this guard trying to get into tower range. Divios nearly gets the pluck back as well. Blue buff is stolen away, but here comes Andy. He's just level 1, though. No Mueller's Attunement cannot rush down that Circuit.
That's right. She's safe for now. Andy almost level 2 here. He's going to need a few more creeps. Once he gets them, he might be able to rush down to Gars, but, I mean, Divios is there to babysit.
Yeah, Divios is here just to hold this lane out. He's going to end up having to leech a lot of it and probably help Gars out with his backside blue. But that being said, they did steal the bottom side blue, and will have the experience advantage in this lane for basically the duration of the laning phase.
Oh, definitely. And Divios getting a small amount of gold for the assist. Gars already heading back to the base. In-hand gold right now. He's at almost 1,000, which means, yeah, he's going to stop his back. He's going to go for it. Left side, they're getting pretty deep here. Barra taking some damage, but Ionic answers back quickly.
Guards does have 1,000 gold in hand, and this is basically the perfect opportunity to back when you get a first blood.
That's right.
Once you get that 1,000 gold, get the boots to online really, really early, and you will basically win the jungle through your enhanced mobility.
That's right. Being able to rotate quicker just makes you a stronger jungle. It's better baits. Double top coming out to Boosh in the mid lane, but I mean, he has the superior clear. Even with the missing health, I don't see Stealth getting a kill too early unless he gets a really great pick-off with I'm a Monster.
Let's check in on the duel in here and talk a little bit about lane dynamics going out as we see a nice block coming out there from Barracuda. It's the on her get blade on the side of Prime versus what looks like the Rom Athena kind of pseudo kill lane versus this on her. Rom with the cripple, Athena with a long duration taunt. On the other side, Jeff Hinlow and Geb able to bail out this on her and on her. Better space control and more kind of aggressive play in the early stages. Anything else you see here in this dynamic?
Honestly, what it comes down to me is when I think Athena, I do not think Ionic. When I think Geb, I absolutely think Jeff Hinlow.
I mean, right, okay. So signature god versus a little bit of a
absolutely
less comfortable pick, perhaps.
Absolutely. I mean, Jeff has played this god so much, he knows every idiosyncrasy of every matchup he's going to face.
Oh, Divios nearly picking up the kill on Megatron.
Uh-oh.
Will get knocked up, but is that a radar? There. Is he up very well? Divios 2 kills now under his belt, and the solo lane is 1. He's level 6. Bomana, level 3, just barely level 4.
And look at the greed. I mean, he started with Death Toll, which is something that's very lackluster usually, but he's made such great use of it, especially in the early game.
Yeah, I don't think that Cognitive Gaming is going to be prepared for this Death Toll Hercules start.
Degars on the left side is going to be contested here at the mid camps. We're going to see the wall come out. Athena goes for the ult. Beautiful rotation coming in from Ionic. Jeff Hinlow taking damage, but Stealth answering back very quickly.
Going to take a lot of damage to Stealth. The Kraken coming in as well, but I don't think they're going to be able to pop this. They will. They will indeed. The nice rotation from Divios, but he's locked down under tower by Thor. He's going to escape for now, and Anister cannot re-aggress. Just a knockup from Hinlow, and that's going to be a free kill on the back of Divios. Yet another one, and the man of a million mana points, the champion of Rome, is off to a great start for Cognitive Red.
All the while, they still pick up the camp zone left. Snoopy picks up them by himself, but now in trouble. Oh, he's trying to volley block the Desert Fury. Doesn't work. Jumps out before the tornado, and we're going to see him right away. That Whirlpool does nothing that time.
Actually, a very important play there by Jeff Hinlow to save Barracuda's life. He uses rollout to get into range. Then when the Circuit taunt, or I'm sorry, the Mez comes out basically,
right.
He goes to attack the Geb instead of the Circuit as the closer target, saving on her's life.
Beautiful. And, you know, this is something that a lot of pro players will talk about. Everyone attempts to body block the Desert Fury. Everybody does.
You can't not. Like,
okay, so, physical spears. I will jump in front of that for you and take half my HP. So on the board now, Barracuda trying to keep the dream alive right now for Cognitive Gaming. Still down 2 kills and a pretty significant 1,000 gold at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, but Gaming is doing a little bit, they're getting a little bit more efficiency out of the map, even given these kills. You see them grouping as 3 for their buff camps, using that Bumpus Mass to his full potential. So they're in no way really falling behind so far outside of these kills, and they really need to find a kill onto this Hercules sooner rather than later, or it's going to be just absolute nightmare at about 20 minutes.
I thought Stealth was going to rotate. It doesn't look like it. Hand of the Gods will once again secure the bottom side blue buff. Megatron going to lose that again, and already half mana. I don't expect he'll be in this lane for much longer.
Left side, Barracuda is going to stall this wave out, only taking the last hits and now rotating into the jungle. He's thinking about contesting this blue buff, but he realizes that it's a bit too late. And will continue freezing this lane out, trying to draw back the creep equilibrium on his side of the map.
Right there, Snoopy actually did get the cripple off,
Brandon.
and he threw out the rollout, so he's not going to have an escape. Beautiful shot from Barracuda. We're going to try to see him aggress here. The Gev Shield's doing work, taking him back in the right direction.
Boosh has the angle. There's going to be a Kraken. It's going to be big. Here it comes. Down goes Thor, and he's going to stun out the Boosh. Boosh going to have Kraken going. Anderson has the Aegis. He's going to be just fine. Boosh has the motion from MLC Stealth. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. MLC Stealth with a late rotation blows up the missed Kraken, and a big opportunity for Cognitive Gaming.
And all of a sudden, tied up at 4-4, still a gold lead right now for Cognitive Red. Experience difference has been normalized, but the gold difference might be taking over. Andy's low in health right now. Barracuda getting low, and it looks like Ionic's pressure is going to be more than enough to send them packing. They still managed to win the team fight, but they didn't quite win the war.
Divios has pushed Omega out of lane. He's used his ultimate and all of his spells to get to that point. Now he's going to put some pressure on the tower. Left side lane, though, Ionic putting the pressure out on the Barracuda. No more cooldowns left, however. Athena unable to secure that one, especially with Jeff rotating in. Right side mid camp, Brandon, that's the next point of contention.
Absolutely, they're blinking. Gars is already there. Boosh rotates in, and look at this. Gars doesn't go right for it. He's keeping an eye on Stealth, who is forced back. Granted, there is some experience and gold there for her, but unfortunately, the contestant camp will be lost. Make sure you keep your eyes now on the left camp as Jeff is in the neighborhood, but Cog Red has the timer.
Yeah, if the red side team takes this left side camp here, it's going to help them pull ahead yet again after those couple of kills going in the back of MLC Stealth from the blue team of Cognitive Gaming. And coming back up now in just about 8 seconds is this camp. We'll see how this one unfolds.
Athena does not have Defender of Olympus for 7 seconds, and it looks like the team calls for the back off. Jeff Hindley uses Hand of the Gods to make sure they get secured for his team, and we are still sitting at about 1,300 now for Cog Red thanks to the superior farm.
Yeah, they were. I think they were worried because Jeff Hindley's ultimate was about 3 seconds before coming off of cooldown, that Cataclysm on Geb. They were able to take the camps without the aggression, but if the timer should have been a little bit tighter for Cog Red, they would have known they didn't have that up yet.
I can't believe Devios has already taken this tower. This is incredible.
Yeah, and he's 3 levels ahead of this Vamana here.
Oh, and
Omega
Bart,
can't stay in the lane.
What's this item or active he's picked up here?
Is that the one that gives you all of the mana?
All of the mana.
So this build, known as the Man of a Million Mana Points, it is the Hercules. He has a Rune Forked Hammer giving him some added survivability, as well as Meditation, a very, very rare active item that does replenish mana. It's a nearly full mana heal, and it is really only in vogue and very rarely on this character.
This may be a little bit of hell in certain situations, but again, very rarely. Normally not a very good pickup, but Devios knows how to use it, and I'm sure he's going to use it well starting right now. Omega's going to get pushed back by the driving strike. Decent amount of damage, and again, still active, just put into level 8. Devios is 3 levels ahead.
Yeah, Devios just continues to pressure this lane, and well, with this kind of lane control on the right side of the map, they can really start aggressing into these red buffs as they come back up. Devios is rotating back towards mid. You see it being picked out by the Vamana. What is Anderson and MLC Stealth's answer to this going to be? Left side lane for Kets moving in as Barracuda's in some trouble. Desert Fury coming out after he pops his bead, and that's going to be enough to proc the retreat from Cognitive Red.
Right, Cobra's Kiss was thrown into the Desert Fury on activation. Beautiful counter right there by Barracuda. Again, keeping himself alive in dire straits. Beautiful play.
Mid lane now, Divius is rotated over, and he has a lot of room to do this after winning his lane so well. Can really help pressure the mid lane, and as we mentioned, those back camps, the blue camp, and the red respawn on the right bottom side of your minimap are now belong to Hercules.
Something to note here, guys, we do have a shell coming out from Athena. This means that they need to make sure that they're using the Circuit Poison to shut down the Vamana heal. That's a big, big swing for them. Looking at Jeff Hindla here, he has Blink, which means there's not going to be a Weakening Curse open unless they put it on a character who generally can't afford building it.
Good news for Cognitive Gaming, however. Hercules out in front in XP per minute, but Scylla and Honor right on his tail.
Andy with a perfect Aegis stops the damage. Double tap to the Boosh in the back. Can he escape? Nice tidal surge might get him out of there, but Andy's going up and he's looking for blood.
Boosh tries the juke and now moving around in sync. And yes, Thor is actually going to fall back and look for the kill on the Rom. In the meantime, over in the right.
Nice.
Oh, no, he's going to pour it forward. They're going to try to make a play out of this.
Gars is coming in.
Pushed out. Here's Gars. There's the stun. Subi is going to fall. Gars, he's going to be forced out of this one. He's going to try for the taunt. I think Anderson makes it through the tower here.
Doesn't get it.
No Cobra's Kiss.
Just barely out of range right there. Ionic rotates in to try to keep this safe. I don't know if he's going to want to pressure for it, but strangely, a 3v1 gets pushed out because they spot the rotation coming out from Big D.
That's a...
Got the pull. Oh, does not got the pull.
No, Stealth just out of there, and you can see how much they respect this Hercules for Divios. 4 members of Cognitive Gaming falling back away from the one Hercules.
I mean, well, that's the power of the character. He has insane base damage. Devios trying to fight for this. It looks like the Hand of the Gods will go off. Sikkim will do some damage, but Devios undeterred, just going to move forward. Meditation online, he has nothing to worry about.
Something I saw a little bit earlier here over at the right side tier 2. The Vamana ulted at about 3/4 HP just to full heal himself, and Divios just stood in place and let him hit him.
Oh, Barracuda's in some hot trouble right now. Desert Fury doesn't actually even secure the buff. Garth not even choosing to use all of... Oh, Boosh getting the kill. I thought Garth for a second there was going to get picked off.
Yeah,
Barracuda, I mean, Barracuda just doesn't miss. The unfortunate part was he was trying to not miss versus 3.
Right, yeah. When you spread the damage out amongst all 3, it's still not that great, but looking at the Thor, 0-1 here.
0-1 and now getting pressured as Divios sends him some friendly waves. It's friendly.
Yeah, Divios really trying to play the mind games here versus the sister team of Cognitive Prime. He's just going to miss that knockback.
Sikkim right there is going to stop the driving strike for now. A lot of damage coming through, but level 12 going to heal pretty much all of that back up. Yes, he has not leveled the boulder. That is a 90% heal plus the 200. He will get every point of damage back.
Yeah, this is a tough point for Cog. I mean, look how far ahead he is.
Jeepers.
He's just waiting. He's just baiting them out. Here comes Ionic. He finds the angle, but he hasn't used the taunt yet. Yes, it's going to be on the Anister in the backside as Jeff comes out. Kraken coming through, but not enough to kill off Andy. Gar's moving forward, but he's going to take to the sky, and that's going to be that. Thor is up in the air. Omega dashing through, and that's going to be a disengage, it looks like, at least for the moment. But Boosh, wow, he found himself in a really awkward spot as Andy gets behind him and forces him back into the fight. And that's a kill picked up easily, actually, there.
Devios has not backed off. He has no chill here. He's probably... Oh, Omega canceled it. Oh, Drima Monster not going to hit that time. Devios going to go down on the front line. For some reason, this is a very important red buff.
Yeah, and through all of this, Barracuda has taken over the XP per minute lead, now at 620 versus the 580 of Hercules. This is very, very good news if you're a Cognitive Gaming or a Barracuda fan.
The trolling from Devios might start being a big detriment as he incurs a pretty long respawn time, picks up a sentry ward. I still see level 1 hand, level 1 med. He's got the Rune Forge, he's got boots, but not much else, honestly. And with that boulder still being level 1, he's gonna have a hard time.
It's gonna be Wingblade second item circuit. Tell me your feelings.
Okay, so she gets a lot of base damage. She gets a lot of true damage. Her passive is directly based on how many poisons she has on. And by not going into crit here, it might be a little bit awkward. Usually this is the Jotun spot for cooldown. Yes. But she is getting cooldown. She's getting extra movement speed, health, and now she can't be slown, which means she can't be kited, which is one of the things that makes her a little bit awkward is when you're trying to go for that passive hit, you can be kited hard.
Yeah, that's right. And also gives her that little bit of attack speed to help deal with those witch blades that will definitely be coming out.
Omega right there trying real deep to go. Oh, boulder. Why was there a boulder? Didn't want to wait for the driving strike. It looks like he just wants to push forward, get this cleared up. We're going to hear the tectonic rift in the mid lane as Garz rotates back in as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think he's just flash farming here. Let's take a look. Just off of the left side lane, Brandon. Oh, wait, hold that thought as Jeff Finla brings forward. They found an angle onto Garz. They're going to use the ultimates here. He's going to dash. He's trying to use this Athena ultimate, but he's going to pull her out of the fight. Boosh does find that kill onto Jeff Finla. This should open up the Gold Fury. Taking to the sky, Subi raining the damage down on Barracuda, who's trying to stand and fight. MLC Stealth is going to have to bail out his hunter here as Ionic continues to charge forward. There's the leap, but Ionic will have a taunt, and there it is. Sikkim nicely placed.
Oh, wow.
And they burst Ionic back, and he's forced out. But what I was getting at earlier, just off of the right side of the Gold Fury, as you see Snoopy started up, there's a little bit of miscommunication from the the Cognitive Prime boys. 2 of their Sentry Wards, those valuable Sentry Wards, placed down, and roughly at the same time. However, Cog Red's going to try to make a play in this Gold Fury. How did he not go in?
Andy right now is in a weird spot. Might be able to go for a double. The ambush is going to send him out, but he's going up and again looking for blood. He's coming down, finds the double kill, and it's their answering back.
Divios going to be in a bit of trouble here now. He gets piled in on as well. He's going to get stuck out by the Sikkim. Oh, I'm a monster just on the mark. The driving strike kills Andy, but they do get the return kill onto the side of Barra. But a really, really gutsy play there by Cognitive Red to try to take that Gold Fury without their tank up.
Yeah, they got it, but they did suffer for it thanks to a great play coming out from Anister. On the graphs, you can see the Cognitive Red maintains their lead in gold, but unfortunately has given up majorly their lead in experience, both to the tune of almost 2,000.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see right where Divios died in that XP graph. Yeah, and he gave back so much with that death, and it was really just to kind of flex. You know, it was a little bit of a mind game, Jeff, just trying to, I own this side of the map, don't bother. And they secure the kill, and they get a lot out of it. In the meantime, also, Barracuda has split push up the left side lane, about 30% remaining on that tower.
So I'm looking at Devios' build here. He's gone into the cloak. Now this, more than likely it will not be Urchin. I expect it could be Magi since he's not going to get beads, or it could be Spirit Robe, which would be huge considering it's a massive amount of magical protection against MLC Stealth, and of course against Jeff Hinla, but there are 3 physicals.
And Insuri's going to get, well, at least aggressed by Gar's going to go back with that Berserker's Barrage and force out the leaps. But no one closing in to try to put the fight to that Circuit.
Gar's just got his ultimate back about 1 second after he dashed away. He knew he couldn't take the damage there, so he plays it safe and gets out of there.
Well, nothing cooking at the moment for Cognitive Gaming. Wait, here comes Ionic dashing forward. He finds a 2-man taunt, but Jeff Hinla's there to hold off the back lines with that Geb Cataclysm. Well played and a nice disengage from Cognitive, and what could have been a bit of an ugly trade. Divios is pushing Omega back towards the mid as well, and looks like he wants to continue aggressing into this red buff.
There's going to be a sentry ward on the bottom here that should spot Gars. He is getting pinked out. He's going to face down into a pretty weird spot. Ionic takes some damage, and it looks like they're going to try to push forward here. One thing to note, guys, remember, Geb's passive actually reduces the amount of crit damage that he takes, so Gars doesn't really have a great matchup in that regard.
Yeah, he's not going to be great at killing that Geb, mostly looking for the healing reduction.
Barris coming over here. I don't know what he's looking for.
Pillar over the wall, just try to catch someone out. They want to push you this tier 1, and you see Boots recalling. They're going to get this for free.
Devio's going to rotate in with Ionic, try to save the day here. Oh, no. That's a Scylla, buddy. You cannot be doing what you're doing. Doesn't find the driving strike, and there comes the big baby.
Well, we'll see what he can do in this fight. Omega trying to keep the front lines. The Armor Monster comes out, but just as the shell is activated, and it's not enough to secure a kill.
Oh,
takes the damage, and Andy's going to be forced out of this fight, taken to the sky, and there is no poison on him. He's going to be A-OK, flying back towards his base, and he will survive.
I'm very, very surprised we didn't see an ult from Gars. That would have been a kill freely, but they don't go for it. The Gold Fury's already down. They wouldn't have had a follow-up contest, so I'm very surprised to see him not go for the guaranteed kill. Instead, Gars is rotating in an awkward spot, looking to counter jungle with Andy being down, but he's not going to find anything here unless he goes for small camps, and in that case, he'll also find Barracuda and Andy.
Taking over the top farm position in the game is Barracuda. He's just eclipsed Hercules in the gold per minute charts and is still sitting on top of XP per minute at level 16, but will it be enough?
Oh, Gars is backing here. And Snoopy's kind of by himself. There was kind of a 4-man grouping. It looks like they're going to let that go. Snoopy very intelligently backs off as we're going to turn our sights to the right camp, getting, it looks like, pinged out by Cognitive Gaming. That's going to be Scylla.
Yeah, Scylla, she's really been excellently played by MLC Stealth. You know, we haven't even mentioned how poor this god is in the early laning stage because he's just been able to make it through it so efficiently and so effectively in this tournament so far.
You know, and he's smart because he's relying on Andy for that. Andy will come in, leech a wave, and then split 2 camps, evening out how much she would be losing. Plus, given Bumba's mask, he's gaining more overall. So a very smart play. Top side, we're going to see that Dagars has been pushed out, and another tower has fallen, this time in favor once again of Cognitive Gaming.
Only that right side tier 1 remains for Cognitive Red as Gaming continues their objective-based play. Looking at the XP charts, they're up about 4K, and they're evening out that gold differential. Things are starting to turn back towards parity in terms of itemization, but still ahead by quite a bit in the levels actually are Cognitive Gaming. One big team fight's going to turn this into about a 10,000 experience lead if Cognitive is able to take it down.
And I was wrong here. It's not the Spirit Robe. He has gone into Urchin, which has been awkward considering they haven't really gotten a decent win in a while in a team fight. With that, Devios has not opted into Meditate 3 yet, which means he's not going to have that extra burst healing. But Hide of the Urchin does apply an extra 250 health plus the 350 health he's getting from Runeforge Hammer. So an even bigger bonus from those items as well.
A second wing blade now coming out on the side of Poseidon for Cognitive Red. They really are valuing this item.
Oh, left side.
Andy's taken to the sky. They want Snoopy, and they want him bad. Thorson way off the mark there, but they'll block him in, but they can't go forward as the Athena taunt comes through. Andy curiously missing.
Oh, whoa, what's this? He's going up here. Stealth gets picked off by Snoopy in the air. Gars remains with his ultimate, which means he can pressure forward. Oh, no, he did use it. Oh, that's probably a good thing. You really don't want to give Stealth any chance of pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, they're able to take him out. They counter ward twice at the Gold Fury now with 1 sentry. They're going to run into Omega here. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's a Kraken, and he doesn't have enough magical defense to deal with this. Omega melts to the boosh.
And all the while, little baby Devios pushing up on the tier 2. Someone has to rotate to stop that. Someone has to rotate to stop the Gold Fury. You're between a rock and a hard place. It looks like they're going to choose the hard place.
They're going to get an incredible surge of gold if they're able to take both these objectives. Jeff Hinla coming forward, trying to disrupt this.
Gars in trouble.
The Cataclysm. Gars in a lot of trouble, but he's going to live. No. Another Fury is there from Barracuda to pick it up. Now Sid is going down as well. Double kill for Barracuda today. Ionic is still playing forward. Barracuda looking for it. Cog Gaming gets the steal. Oh, no. They pick that up. Cognitive Red goes down. Ionic falls. No Gold Fury for them. That's a big swing. In the meantime, Divios does get the tier 2, but it's an even trade now with that Gold Fury going the way of gaming.
So right there, that was the difference to me between Andenster and every other player in the world. Because if Andenster was Ionic in that situation, he would have said to himself, I'm getting a tier 2, he lost the fight, oh well. Ionic's like, I'm gonna try to be the hero, I'm gonna try to make the play, and instead gives up another 300 on top of it. Not a good call.
Yeah, now the XP and gold squarely in favor of Cognitive Prime. 5,000 XP and, well, it's about 100 gold, we'll say. But they've done a really nice job of battling this one back to even, at least considering how poorly the solo lane went for them. Omega's basically now 1 level behind Devios, where he was 4 during the laning stage. Nice recovery out of the baby.
Right, and we're seeing, you know, gold-wise, there's about 1,000 difference, sure, but the build coming out from Devios is much different. We're seeing him finally go into Jotuns here, whereas Omega, you know, obviously very far behind with just the Witchblade. Honestly, I don't know if he needs it. If he can keep baiting that way, it's really not going to go too poorly.
Well, at this stage, the Vomanic needs to build for the late game.
Right.
They don't need him during the mid game. They've already broken the lanes. He just needs to kind of keep farming and get his items up, get those 4 or 5 items, and be able to fight in the late stages of the game here. He does have his Sprint 3 online and a Witchblade and the Runeforge. He's got a decent amount of power. Let's hold that thought is on the right side. Vomana is being aggressed by Divios.
He's going for it. He should have saved the pull to wait for Clear the Path. Clear the Path has a very hard turning arc. Oh, stop there.
We're going to miss.
Ugly, yeah. Baseball skin, yeah. Left side, Snoopy in an awkward spot here, kind of pushed back, but might have an advantage here to push, as there's going to be a 3-man pincer here. Dagar's coming in as well, jumping over the wall. Barak not quite getting his ultimate off, and he is going to be stunned out. True damage coming through and right into Boosh.
Yeah, and this is all set up by the fact that Divios is commanding so much respect to Geb and the Vomana over in the right side lane to hold him out. It allows him to put that pincher out onto Barracuda without the bail of Geb there to help him out, and down he will fall. That's a very important kill, as we mentioned. He was topping the gold permitted and XP charts, and that's going to be a very, very valuable kill for Cock Red, especially if they can transition this into another kill into Andy and a tower. Ionic moving, and he finds a 2-man taunt. It's a big crack, and hitting one. Aegis out by the other. Anderson under half HP, and there's a Surcat lurking somewhere around here.
Yeah, she's trying to find a way into the fight safely, not full health, and still very squishy going towards the speed buff here. Omega's forced to give that up, or at least reset it. Mid lane pull coming out once again. Devios activating mitigate wounds, could be in some trouble. Crush damage does a lot. Stick him in place, but check out the healing from Hercules.
Yeah, he just heals right through it. With that mitigate wound, it heals him for the damage that he took. Jeff Pinlow's moving forward. They want to fight this. They get the 3-man knockup into the 3-man cataclysm. The baby is stomping. In comes Anderson, but he's immediately stopped. And there's the Surcat poison on him as well. No more healing for the Thor. He wants to come back forward. It's a big block through the wall as well. He ports in. Over the top is Gars. No way to shut down Omega's healing, and it's going to be at the disengage from Prime. But Divios once more.
Yeah, he's going to go in. He has a lot to him right now as well. A lot of damage online, given the fact that he does have the heavy mace. He does have the Runeforge hammer with the Warrior Tabby, but still not really to find much so far with the Height of the Urchin.
2 more levels for Scylla to be fully maxed out and get the full benefit of her passive. The first level 20 of the game is on the side of Cognitive Prime in the form of Barracuda. There's the 6, 2, and 3 on her, but this character is going to start falling off here in about the next 7 to 8 minutes as, well, Snoopy just starts to get ahead of him with Rom's attack speed steroid.
That's right. He's much more able to just shred down any objective. I'm talking towers, phoenixes, even things like the Gold Fury and Fire Giant. A lot more effective.
So it's we're moving into the kind of the late stages of the mid game here. The lanes are very clearly broken. The teams are starting to group and push for objectives. But overall, I would say that this game doesn't feel like anyone really has the advantage at this point.
I agree. I mean, obviously, if you look at the graph, there is a small experience difference given that it's 4,000 at about 24 minutes. 1,300 gold means very, very little. It all comes down to who can play the team fight better, who's getting luckier with where people are using Aegises. And I do mean lucky sometimes. I mean, if they misclick or if they don't do it fast enough against a Kraken, or if they do the Kraken and then they don't hit the boulder, I mean, there's a lot of different variables that can go on, and some of them are going to take place now as Omegatron deals a decent amount of damage to Devios, forcing him. What in the world was that?
I guess he thought Anderson was moving forward to try to aggress into that. Good news for Cog Prime as well is that Jeff Hinlet has his Magi's Blessing finished. It's going to help them out a lot around the objectives. On the other side, Ionic has elected to go for the only Witchblade the team has, and they really need this item.
Barracuda's kind of stuck in a hard place here with that tower almost being dead. The rest of the team is like feigning aggression and now are retreating, and now that they realize it. Andy gonna get kicked back here. Not in a good... Oh, Boosh, that was rough.
Yeah, he beats it out. Use Mjolnir's the Kraken off the mark. Andy still alive somehow. Snoopy takes this guy. That's going to be enough. The I'm a Monster was there as well, but Stealth does not get credit for the kill, and therefore does not have another one to use.
Here comes the baby. Omegatron trying to find a way into fight, but unfortunately is under about 75% health, closer to 50 even, whereas Divio sitting real pretty in the health department and still with Meditate sitting real fine in the mana department is going to rush into what seems like 2 in the mid lane. The Gold Fury has been started and he realizes it.
Omega's going to knock up Divios, and he's going to keep him zoned out. Omega's still trying to just maintain pressure onto the Hercules, not let him turn this corner, but the Gold Fury's already too low. There's the boulder over the top, but it's just not enough to get the kill, and now can they convert a kill onto the Hercules? No, he will run away with impunity.
I'm really surprised that we didn't see Boosh get in there, or Yannick was pretty low, but I mean, Boosh still had a lot of damage there. Gars as well, his ult was coming up in a few seconds. Snoopy is obviously a hunter, could have just moved in, but they're gonna give that one up for free. They're gonna play it safe. They know the Fire Giant is clearly way more important. What we're looking at now is just Sentry Ward fight. Already the vision on the Fire Giant belongs greatly to Cognitive Red, and with only 2 sentries in the inventory for Prime and 3 extra ones in the inventory for Red, I just don't see how they're going to win this war of attrition on the blue side.
This is something that the European teams especially talk about a lot, is that it's very important in Smite to know, basically look at that tab screen, know how many sentry wards they have versus what you have, and exert your dominance on the side of the map that you want it, knowing they can't counter ward you, or force them to ward and then counter ward everything relatively easily. Eonic's going to find himself a counter ward, speaking of which on the right side, and vision dominance is definitely in favor of Cognitive Red near the Fire Giant.
Both teams doing really, really well at this stage of the game. No team, again, like Bart reiterated before, we don't really have a majorly dominant team. Jeff's going to lose his Magi's, and he's in a lot of trouble. Barra goes for a clean save and gets it.
Yeah, they're going to eat that, a little bit of that Whirlpool, but it's going to be A-okay for the boys of Cognitive Prime. Shinsai's Executioner is up on her, and if they don't check him in these fights, he's going to do a lot of damage to Divios.
Oh, right there, Andy going for the big play, level 18 right now, somehow a level ahead of Gars, who did actually manage to get first blood on his opponent. I'm very surprised to see that Gars has fallen behind here, and we have not really seen Serket utilize the anti-healing part of her ultimate just yet.
Yeah, we should be seeing a Brawler's Beak Stick coming out as the next item for Barracuda as well to help shut down this healing on the side of Hercules. They do not have a Weakening Curse nowhere slot for it, so they are not concerned about...
That's the Zatman build.
The Hurt.
I think we're going to see Titan's Bane.
Titan's Bane, you think?
Titan's Bane, yeah.
Titan's Bane into a 6th item crit, probably?
Yeah, usually Rage, sometimes Oboe. I mean, that's the Zap build that's been extremely, extremely successful. I mean, he's a brilliant player.
Andy in a lot of trouble. Snoopy just rains damage in on him. Jeff Hinlow looking for the body block, but going up is Snoopy, and Divios firing the boulders, getting a kill, and a second kill coming out as well as Andy falls. I'm a Monster is here, but it's not going to find a kill as continuing to get chain CC'd is Cognitive Prime. Charging forward is Omega. He wants to pick this up on a Snoopy, but there's the dodge roll. He's using the sprint 3 to blow a lot of his uptime, and now he is in some trouble as Divios is here. They knock him up, they'll let chain CC. The damage coming from Snoopy. It's enough. Down goes Omega. They're going to charge forward for Jeff. They want this deicide as MLC Stealth is trying to re-engage as well.
Oh, Snoopy.
Be careful.
Oh, Snoopy just dived into that. He is currently sitting at 60 health, and that was 3 ticks later. He very much almost died to that. Pressuring in. MLC Stealth is keeping this alive right now just with his pressure. Divios, huge shot, beautiful Gem Shield. Taunt in the back. This could be trouble. Meditate Bait.
Yeah, he gets at the meditation there, but it wasn't enough to keep them engaged. A little bit early was Divios there, but was in danger to dying to the Scylla burst. Not a bad play overall here.
They're going to get the tier 1.
Yeah, they'll take the tier 1. Look at all those archers. What, 7 archers lined up there, and that's going to be an easy tier 1 on the side of Cognitive Red, and they're starting to recoup the gold they lost earlier in this game. In fact, gold and experience has swung all the way to the red side in favor of Cognitive Red.
It's kind of incredible to see how back and forth this game has gone. Both teams showing not only how strong they are at the top level of play in the world, but how comfortable they are with playing from behind, even against each other.
Serket does have her short sword up now. That means the crit is coming out from the jungler on the side of Red. On the side of Prime, it's 2 Shinsai's, Vamana and on her, both online. They have a lot of shred now.
Oh, Barracuda in a weird spot here,
and
getting ultimate by Gars. What is Andy going to look for? No, he's going deep into the Fire Giant pit.
They really want these kills on the
Snoopy's in trouble.
He's going to be okay. I'm a Monster does about half of Boosh's HP pool. And look on the backside here, Regards is going to try to make his way out, but Omega's very fast. He finds a chainsaw, but there's the second leap forward, and Serket just so elusive.
Right there, Eonic is going to get a free trip back to the base as well, still with his ultimate, and given the fact that Divios is full health, they still have 100% pressure. This is the best strength of Athena. This is why you want to pick her. being able to leave a fight at an objective, get your health bar back completely, and then come back to the fight with extra damage.
Yeah, for those of you that aren't up to speed with Smite, Athena has an ability, her ultimate called Defender of Olympus. You can select a friendly target god and teleport to them over the course of 3 seconds, landing with a big explosion. So
right, while channeling an extra amount of defense.
That's right. It does bring damage reduction to the target that she is channeling onto.
So somehow, even with the fight won by Cognitive Gaming, at least, you know, the war of attrition pushing forward, Cognitive Red exerts their dominance freely and has now maintained complete positioning against Cognitive Prime.
But this game continues going later and later, and Cognitive Red needs something to do here shortly, or they're going to start really feeling the wrath of this baby.
Omega, speaking of the wrath of the baby, he's going real deep, but that's going to be a wasted.
We ain't wasting nothing. Snoopy in a lot of trouble. Mjolnir's going to be coming through. He has about 1 hit left, but Andy has to respect the damage. Cannot continue. Checking in the mid lane. Barracuda does go down 2 guards just off of screen. Thor forced away from Divios as well, but MLC Stealth gets that return kill on to the Serket. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but it's the highest farm player in the game in exchange for a Serket.
Divios is fighting 4 people.
Divios fears nothing.
He very clearly fears absolutely no man. Meditation's online. I don't see a weakening curse. Omega's taking a lot of damage, even with the Gev shield. Watch the meditate bait. Here it comes. Get ready for it. You know he's looking for it. Oh, baits it out. Stays alive. Stealth in some trouble now. He has been baited forward, and Snoopy finds a kill from the sky.
Snoopy snipes him down, no problem. Andenster has followed back. Stealth and Jeff Hinla both full-on retreat, but Boosh is fast. It's a Poseidon, but it's a brilliant route from MLC Stealth. Here comes him in. MLC Stealth! Does he have what it takes? No, this is his second I'm a Monster, and now is in a lot of trouble. Divios charging forward, finds a kill, and they will take down all 3 of the cores on the side of Cognitive Prime. Red really has pulled ahead in this game in 31 minutes.
I really thought Andy was going to get baited by the small amount of health it seems Divios has, but that's a Hercules. You cannot fight that even with that amount. You are an assassin, sure, but Hercules is generally not going to deal with any kind of bruisery assassin nonsense that Thor can put out. That, once again, somehow the war of attrition is won by Cognitive Red thanks to the massive amount of healing and the consistent presence by Ionic.
Gold Fury is back up, and this is such an easy play for Red. They just pressure the right side of the map. They've owned the right side of the map for so long and just rotate that ROM over there. He can take that Gold Fury, and the tier 2 on the left side in danger of falling as well. A lot of potential gold on the table for Red.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the creeps could wind up cleaning this up. No, they do manage to get in the tower line. That will be staged just barely for now.
Yeah, it's a dangerous situation for Cognitive Gaming because you could be looking at a Serket that has a short sword finish and very, very rapidly have a Deathbringer plus another short sword online.
All right, so taking a look at Barracuda, not going into Titan's Bane, actually opts into Cloak, more than likely will be Magi's Blessing. Still no Divine Ruin coming out from Stealth, but we do have a Pestilence coming out from Jeff Hinla.
Let's talk about Divios itemization here. Urchin into, the Midgarian Mail here, the anti-attack speed item coming out.
Big fan.
Yeah, why?
I mean, this is going to slow down Barracuda. It's going to slow down Omega. Divios, however, is getting slowed down himself. He should go down here.
Yeah, but the baby, he's having a hard time sticking to him, and Divios is just healing through everything with that shell. Omega just doesn't have the damage, just feeling anemic now, especially with that nerf. Here comes a big crack of a Stealth Force, ages it out. Guards does go down Barracuda, and is there reinitiating. Boosh does not find himself a kill, and Omega still alive and healthy. Backline is Snoopy, however, can they check him? He's going to take... Well, no, he's not going to take much at all.
No.
Barracuda's going to survive this.
Jeff Hinla's going down.
There's the Gev shield. They're going to die this. And yeah,
beautiful.
Should be able to secure it, no problem. He realizes that, falls back into the tower, and it's going to be a tier 2 of the mid lane going the way of Cognitive Red.
Andy going in, looking for Ionic here. Doesn't find it. Boosh in some trouble. Doesn't quite take enough damage to go down. And now without an escape, he's in some big trouble. Luckily, Barracuda comes back. Divios with a beautiful medbait once again. And there's the Midgardian slow, making sure Barra can't chase.
Wow, the procs are just so real. What this does, every time we see the ice spike shoot out of Barracuda, it means that he's been slowed attack speed and movement speed. They will be able to eventually secure the kill on the Divios. It goes to the credit of Omegatron. Can they transition this into an objective? As we mentioned a few times, Gold Fury is up, and look how much these teams have been fighting. There's like 3 wards on the map right now.
Gars just respawned. He's going to be able to get down there. Jeff Hinla, though, is up in 8, which means they're going to have a much bigger advantage on Prime going for the Fire Giant. Looking at the hand of the gods right now, Ionic has hand 3, Divios has hand 3. We're looking at the side of Cognitive Prime. We're only going to see 1 hand 3 come out, and that's going to be Jeff Hinla. Baby, nothing. Thor, nothing. If they get picked off, it could be trouble.
It's about to be absolute madness here as the Scylla is sitting on 490 magical power.
Oh, guards!
Can they clean this up? There's the lead. Can he find it? Off the mark. There's the Kraken knockup, and MLC Stealth gets erased before the I'm a Monster comes out. Omegatron surging forward with the sprint 3. Can he get one more hit on the boost? He cannot. The beats come out. Andy gonna try to take it down. Yes, the double tap is enough to do it. And now underneath the tower is Jeff Hinland Barracuda putting in the damage, but here comes the ROM. Can they check Snoopy with an Athena ultimate on his back? DM Brandon, it looks like Cogred will hold their tier 2 for the moment.
Just barely, and with that, Devios has respawned. Boosh got about 50 seconds, Stealth still 40, and that's the #1 rule in gaming, kids. That's why you don't chase kills. MLC Stealth pays for his sins with a lack of Fire Giant.
No Fire Giant for you, sir. Gars on the right side, he's looking for the camps, but now they're realizing they may have an opportunity for this Fire Giant here. Cognitive Red, they're moving into the pit. But Cog Prime smartly does not send everyone back at once, and they continue to look for the aggression. But they're going to dial in right onto Jeff Hinland, trying to take down the tank and the threat of stealing the Fire Giant, noting, as you did earlier, only one Hog 3 for Cog Prime.
No one's initiating, though. Gar's in a lot of trouble facing down Omega, who is swinging in deep. Clear the path going to be used. Nice use of Cobra's Kiss, and the Death Fade's going to get him out of there, but Omega might have it. Omega might have it. Omega's got it.
And this is what we've seen out of Amana and land play for the last 2 years. He's an absolute nightmare in the late game. Here comes Anderson. Omega blocked out a bit from that kill. The crit's coming through. Here comes the boulder, and Devios erases him. And now Barracuda finds himself in a very, very awkward position versus young Devios. In the meantime, Anderson does clean up Snoopy, and that's a lot of the damage out of red.
I really like the fact that he turned around and started doing damage. He realized that he was in a bad spot, so he forced Andy into such a situation where he can't fight. This could be a Fire Giant attempt coming out right now. Granted, they are 2 down. MLC Stealth is still alive. It's hard to say, but Devios going to rotate to the left side, maybe start the Gold Fury?
600 magical power on the Scylla with the Rada Tahuti completion.
Yep.
She is officially out of control and is the hardest hitting god in this game by a pretty big margin. For comparison to Poseidon sitting at just over 215 magical power.
Well, I mean, he does have a good amount of shred with Spear.
He does.
He went into the Wing Blade.
Mitigation going to be a lot less effective against him, and he does have utility items to boot, but tripling up magical power is going to be problems.
What I want to see here is I need Boosh to go back to the base right now. Cell, they didn't really need that. They kind of wasted a hand there, in my opinion. Boosh should have been backed. This is where he could have picked up his Rada Tahuti. He had it.
Well, surging forward is Cog Prime, but they're not going to find red for any answers, and a little bit better warding there. They had an opportunity to take the Fire Giant, I think, again. Overall, here, looking at the way that Cognitive Prime has approached this late game, they have been stalling for the Vamana and the Scylla to come online. They have them there now. Vamana combined to his luxury damage items after his attack speed and kind of utility-based survivability items. His 6th item here is really important. This is what we talked about in the pregame. 5th item, Vamana, is where he really starts to get dangerous. His 6th coming soon. This could very, very easily and very quickly turn in favor of Cognitive Prime.
And remember, guys, Vamana's passive gives him some of his physical protections back as damage. So does Rude Forge Hammer, so he's double stacking with the Hammer, with the Witchblade, and with the Midgardian then.
Yeah, Vamana is sitting on about 240 physical power.
Boosh right now in a lot of trouble, gets pinched out by Stealth, but Stealth does not hit the kit. Omega's going to turn his sights as Andy dives into the back line, but too little, too late. Snoopy hits this guy, and Omegatron's in the back.
Well, Snoopy here, he's going to get closed in by Barracuda, who's chasing him with the sprint 3 as well. And Cog gets an all hands on deck looking for Snoopy, but he rolls forward. Now it's Devios who's got the attention of the team.
Trouble.
Omegatron in the front line. He's tracking the Midgarian.
Nice
Nail
boulder.
comes through. It's going to zone them a bit. It's going to make Barracuda's life a little bit tougher. Ionic gets stopped in the dash, trying to move forward through the wall. Here comes the ultimate out onto the circuit, but it's not in time. Athena unable to keep her up. Boosh is out of this fight, very, very low in HP. Omega gets picked up, and Andy gets his back stopped by Snoopy. A little bit of a lazy back there by Andy. Will he be able to secure this kill?
There's down.
His way out, and down goes
Andy's
Anderson
down.
as well. MLC Stealth's going to fall to it.
MLC is down.
Can they fire this one on the
And
Jeff
Jeff
Hinland?
is most
He's
likely
gonna
down.
fall. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a deicide to the 38th minute mark. Fire Giant up and standing, and Cognitive Red has taken this game squarely in their grasp.
This is what I want to see. No Fire Giant, no Gold Furies, no towers. Take your boys, rush down the Phoenix, and go for the Titan. They have about 37 seconds before anyone's up, and everyone in the Cog Prime booth right now is sweating bullets.
37 seconds remaining here on the board. Right side Phoenix is going to fall in favor of Cognitive Red, and it's a free back for them. Nope. No.
Did he just dash into a wall?
No. They're going to go for the win. 89%, 79%, 60% AP remaining on the Titan.
There's the meditation.
Meditation coming out. 30%.
Meditation.
Ladies and gentlemen. Cognitive Red is your victors in game number 1. Flexing their muscles. Devios, the unstoppable god, the champion of Rome. And they take this one squarely
I don't know if there's anyone out there that wouldn't have called this the best game of the tournament so far, guaranteed.
Absolutely, an amazing game, and congratulations to Cognitive Red. They pull ahead a game and put the screws to Cognitive Prime. What will the sister team do? We'll toss it over to the analyst for their takes on it. Guys, take it away.
Cognitive Red, ladies and gentlemen, I'm blown away right now.
This is absolutely, I mean, this is the matchup that we've been waiting for. This is hot fire right now.
Hot fire.
That
With
was with hot fire.
Hot
that was
fire with
it.
a YA
You know,
at the end.
honestly, we had constant action. That was just a 40-minute team fight is what it was. And it was neck and neck the entire time. These teams are so evenly matched. And remember, these teams only exclusively scrim each other. Cog Red and Cog Prime are scrim buddies. And after that match, it's insane. Now, Divios, obviously, on that Hercules, crazy. I mean, meditation, shout-outs to DM Brandon and all the top-tier players that really believed in it. It seems to be working. And obviously, you know, the Circuit wasn't the star of that.
No, it was not. You know who was the star of that? This little dude, okay, that was sitting in the corner that just would not die.
Oh, yeah, one of the
Divios.
players he's like 25?
Yeah, that guy.
21?
Yeah,
18? No, he's 15.
yeah, that's
He's
right.
15, ladies and gentlemen. If
15.
you want to get into esports, he's 15 years old on a stage for thousands of people, for millions of dollars, and he's just killing people.
Yeah, just straight up slaying.
Giggling the
Incredible.
whole time.
Allied, let's just go into your thoughts here. You know, obviously familiar with each team, but Cog Prime, man, you know, it seemed like things were really going in their favor, and then Cog Red, they really just ran away with it.
Well, there was a couple of good key points to cover. Was that Cognitive Prime's comp was mostly early game for the beginning, so that's why they had a lot of control. However, it looked like Omega was taking heat in the solo lane. Devios got extremely far ahead, and Devios just built full tank. It was just out of control, couldn't kill him. Barracuda played lights out. That's one thing I wanted to point out. Is just she was a monster early game. I think he hit every single just spear into a wall, into a team setup, got away. Just crazy. Cognitive Prime were playing on point. However, Cognitive Red did really well stalling out to mid to late game where their characters truly came online, like Rama. Once he hit that level 17 point, once Snoopy got Kins online with Executioner, he was ripping through everybody. And then once again, Circuit, she's pretty good.
There's one point where I was actually in the middle of drinking my Red Bull and just I saw the Impale come out from Barracuda and just spit a little. It was the second he hit the ground after the jump, it just into a wall. I mean,
yeah.
Cog Prime, and that's why I'm so excited about Game 2, right, is that they're playing so even that it could go either way. And, you know, you mentioned Barracuda. I want to talk a little bit about MLC Stealth for just a second. You know, I think this just came down to, you know, a few missed ultimates, right? And that's what Scylla is, right? If you're hitting everything, she's one of the most dominant mages in the entire game. If you miss a couple ultimates in a row, you're going to start faltering a little bit. You know, Zim, what's your experience with Scylla as far as efficacy?
I mean, Scylla in the EU is
Oh, Mike's not connected. We'll take actually while we
Scylla
get this
in
stress,
EU is pretty good.
Yeah.
But over in EU, we
Thanks, Simstar.
There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So in Europe, Scylla is generally not picked. I think maybe because they don't hit and miss kind of thing with Scylla. But I mean, MLC is a great Scylla player, and I don't know. I just
Unsure?
Yeah, I'm really unsure because Scylla is not picked in EU at all, so I don't really know where to place her.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a great Scylla player. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the Logitech first blood of that game, and it started right off the bat. We came out of the gates just racing at full speed. Here comes level 1 guards on Circuit, and the passive really tells the story here. He started with the damage from the Deathbane, of course, gets the crit. Now watch the flight of the Valkyries here with Omegatron trying to get that passive, and just can't get away
So
from
hot.
it.
It was so hot.
Yeah,
It was too much for me to handle.
it was burning up. But, you know, Circuit started the early game. Then Divios, of course, got that solo kill on Omegatron after that under tower. And then he was starting to rotate towards the mid lane, which put pressure onto MLC Stealth as well. So, you know, what else can we talk about?
Well, what we can talk about is who was the Gamer Launch player of the game. And, you know, while I felt Divios had, one heck of a performance, it actually goes to Ionic.
Killer.
So Ionic, look at just the emphasis on vision there with those wards placed, 19 wards placed there. Definitely what you want to see, 10.5 KDA as well.
Well, that's a support with 10.5 KDA.
That's right.
That's a support. And, honestly, we were talking about this in the precursor here with the analysts, and we were really surprised to see even DM Brandon mentioned it during the cast. He was saying, I don't think Ionic when I think Athena. Very different, right? Not really the core that I expect from him. But it really made a lot of sense. They were able to pull them into a Poseidon ultimate. It kept people off of Divios, and the peel was just there to keep Snoopy alive.
I mean, absolutely. When you have like a 10 million year long taunt that's AoE, you can grab the whole team. It's just pretty good. But overall, I think the Athena pick was absolutely key. Well, because it was like, I mean, it's generally like with the COG boys, it's the top 3 for supports. It's Sylvanas, Geb, Athena. If you can't get one of them, you get the other one. It's like they have a tier list. You can even ask Jeff himself. It's like there's not really much else he has to play. Just those are the core staple of the COG boys. But I think Ionic played lights out.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to going into game 2 as well, because COG Prime's not going to take this lightly. Zim?
I must say I'm a Devios fan now. I mean, the cap I had earlier was actually Devios cap. So I think I'm going to keep that. Sorry, Devios. I'm keeping your cap.
Okay.
Because he played extremely good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a point in time where, I'm looking at this. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a big fan of Hercules. I like to play Hercules. I also like to jump a lot, apparently.
He looks just like him.
But I look just like Hercules, don't I? Seriously? No, but seriously, though, one thing that impressed me so much was just, this guy's in a 1v4 at one point in the jungle, and he was just like, it was like no thing. He was just living, right? He was getting whacked around by every single person, but yet Divios, nothing, like, didn't care. And there were some plays there where Divios was making like questionable plays, right? Like, I believe there was one where he was actually the same 1v4 where, and again, to that point, probably shouldn't have done that, but he's like trying to like run away, and then he just says, okay, I'm gonna go back and fight him again. Mind you, none of his teammates are there. And that happened, but again, that's just his style, right? It's a little reckless, but it shows great confidence.
Yeah.
And that's something I admire a lot about Divios.
Well, he was testing the waters. I mean, obviously Hercules with meditation and the heal, it really helps him stay alive. And DM again mentioned in the cast, I mean, this character is so well known. He's at 20% HP, but he's not almost dead. It's a lie. Everything about that HP bar is a lie. And you can see it because the heal is always going through there and keeping him going. And so you have to be careful about how much HP you allow him to have and how much damage you can do in that short window before it starts to heal back up. But, speaking of damage and in a short window, I'd like to talk a little bit about Snoopy, because Snoopy went off that game. Now, of course, he had great support. Ionic was there with the peels every single time. With the late gate damage, he has the Alienware play of the game. Watch this damage here. Allied, you're a Hunter player. What's happening here?
Right now, Snoopy's just in the backline, kind of. You could tell Cogner's Prime overextend a little bit. He's playing his decision right. Bops Barracuda, switches over to MLC Stealth, chases him down, knowing his teleport is down, and then teams up the rest of the team fight. It was just really spot on, good positioning, and you can kind of tell like Cogner's Prime overextend a little bit on a kill there, and they just ignored Snoopy in that stage of the game. Hunter's hurt.